Hi, my name is Dan Postel, and I chose to do my individual project presentation in a friend's company called Q's Concessions. And Q's Concessions is an umbrella underneath a larger concessions company called Mays Concessions. And Q decided this year to buy two food trailers and sell food at different fairs and festivals around the Midwest. So Q acts under the umbrella of the board of directors for Mays Concessions. One trailer for Q sells elephant ears, the other sells ice cream and lemonade. And Q sells at mainly Michigan events, but there's a few outside of Michigan, which makes him a Midwest company. It's a cash business. 98% of the money that comes in is strictly cash. And one manager operates each trailer. Remember, Q has two. And there's two people who work inside of each trailer on the day of the event selling the food. The values for the company: the base one is honesty and trust. And with all the cash coming in, you must have employees and managers who are able to handle the funds with honesty. The second one is respect. And respect gets you a long way in this industry. You have to be able to get into these fairs and festivals, and you're not going to do that without respecting the people who place the concessions at these events. If you don't respect them, you're not going to get in, and you're not going to find yourself in good spots at these events, which is going to hurt your overall business. Professionalism. This is not a very professional industry, so Q and the board of directors for Mays Concessions, at the very least, like their employees to have a base level of professionalism, which separates them from other companies. And consistency. Every year you have customers coming back expecting the same quality food from your trailer at these events, and they know your name, and so keeping your food consistent and at good quality is going to go a long way for your business. Code of conduct and what is expected of the employees. Customer service is obviously a key one. We want our employees, even though there's not a lot that's expected of them at the actual event, you're basically taking money and handing people food. So customer service should not be a problem. Honesty with the cash. It's been a problem in the past for the company, having employees who are honest with the cash and who have not stolen from them. So this year, it'd be nice if a couple employees were hired who you could trust without having to worry at all. And that would take away some of the headache for Q, who's running the trailers. Cleanliness. And when customers view into your trailer, if they see that it's unclean, they're going to question your food. And they're going to question the quality of your business and question if your food's clean. So having a clean workspace is going to go a long way in terms of selling your food. And then the final one, we will not bribe. We've seen it in the past where companies actually bribe the fairs and festivals to get good spots and to actually get in. And as we learned this year, reading Business Ethics and Managerial Approach by Andrew Wicks, as well as a few other authors, bribery is illegal, and it states on page 97 that bribery is specifically outlawed, and there are harsh penalties for both the firm and the individuals who pay the bribe. So we've seen other companies get in trouble for this, and we do not want to have a reputation for a company that bribes. In terms of training, the owner of the company, who sits on the board of directors, oversees the two managers, and Q is technically viewed as a manager. And then Q also wants to gain another manager this year and have him run his own food trailer and his own route. And then each manager has two employees underneath them who will serve the food at the events. So training needs to start 2 weeks prior to the first event. And the manager this year, the new manager, will need to build a relationship with Q and with the board of directors, and that's going to be built on honesty and trust. So we need to teach the manager how to keep track of the books, because that is obviously something that at the end of the year, when you have to check your books in terms of the money that's come in and gone out, it's going to make your life a lot easier and your tax situation a lot easier and less questionable if all your books are in order. And then we have to train our managers to teach our employees basic customer service 101. So it'll be 5 days a week, 2 weeks leading up to the first event, and we will pay our managers during those 5 days. and specific training on taking care of the trailer, because the trailer is your actual business. So there's a lot to learn, a lot of little levers and buttons, and learning how to stock your trailer. All that stuff needs to be taught to the new manager. So 2 weeks should do it. And then also we teach our manager to train his employees, who he will hire to run the actual trailer itself, and teach them basic customer service. The employees, customer service 101, like we said, a lot of these people working for us inside the trailers are going to be the high school age, and they might not have learned basic customer service. So that'll need to be taught. And then proper food etiquette, as there's a lot of rules pertaining to food and how it's handled. Those will need to be taught to the employees. And then also how to handle the cash, and teaching them the proper system to be efficient in terms of receiving the cash and giving back cash. All that stuff will need to be taught. And we will do that the first day on the job. We've had success with that in the past. So we know the managers will do a good job the first day on the job, as well as the first couple of weeks, where the manager will be side by side with these employees, teaching them how to operate. And in our book, Just Business, this year by Alexander Hill, on page 174, 175, it talks about two theories in terms of ways to judge how your employees are going to be working for you. And we want to have a theory Y. We want to base our employees off of theory Y. And the reason being is theory X states that employees inherently dislike work and will attempt to avoid it whenever possible, as well as employees will shirk responsibilities and seek formal direction whenever possible. We don't want our employees to hate their jobs. And we need to do a good job of having team meetings and building up morale, so that our employees, as theory Y states, employees view work as being natural as rest and play. And the average person can learn to accept and seek responsibility, as well as the ability to make good decisions is widely dispersed through the population, isn't necessarily a sole ability of the manager. So we want to teach our employees to have responsibility. And we learned from Ford Motor Company in 1970, as they viewed their employees as having a theory X mindset, and the company almost went bankrupt. So if we can motivate our employees and have a theory Y mindset for our employees, I think that's going to go a long way in helping our business overall throughout the next couple of years. Evaluating program effectiveness. So at the end of the year, because our company is dealing with a lot of cash, if we can come back with our books being correct and our books being organized, and that we have no tax problems at the end of the year, that's going to be a success for us, as well as employees continue working throughout the summer and pays equal or better than the competitors, because we understand this is not a long-term job for these employees. It's basically a summer job. But if we can keep our employees throughout the summer, that is longer than most companies have their employees. And if we can build that relationship and, like we said, treat them with a theory Y mindset, and have them come back event after event and pay them better than the competitors, then that's going to be also viewed as a success for us. And if we can come back to the events that we worked the year prior and we get invited back and accepted, I think that's going to speak to the values of the company in terms of showing respect to these organizations, being honest and having consistently good food that the organizations and the fairs and festivals want to serve at their events. So if we're invited back, I think we can look at that as a success as well for us. These are my references for the presentation here today, and I hope you enjoyed it and learned something, and thank you for your time.